आज रात 12 बजे से
Vir Nakai doesn't need an introduction on social media. He introduced it to the biking community. The original gangster of social media, he is now on more platforms than the kilometers in his Odo. He gives us a brief about his travels and his favorite events from across the planet. He also talks to us about his love for photography and, more interestingly, the famous picture that the world is obsessed with stealing. So if you had your eyes on that picture, this video will tell you the right way to get it.
Thank you, Vir, for coming up.
I mean, really, I wasn't doing much.
So how's it going for you these days?
Surprisingly, it's not that bad, yeah. It's Amrita and I travel so much that I don't think we've been in the same house together for such a length for such a long time. So right now, it's we're cooking. Amrita and Gia are baking. I mean, outside it's terrible what's happening, but we haven't killed each other yet. Let's get there.
Why I wanted to speak to you is because you're the original social media guy. Before social media existed,
Yeah.
much before social media existed, you discovered it.
I mean, it was a need. I think it was more a need of the hour anyway. It's the way it had to go.
It's like you found the internet way before people knew something like that existed.
I actually remember when it really the thought was I had that Nokia what is that full QWERTY keyboard camera, but we were only texting for it, but it had an email function, right? You could email stuff and it had a camera. So it was like, why can't I use this to do stuff? From there it was like, how can I connect my email to this? How can I take photographs? And how can it make it so much easier? You have everything on hand to do a decent job. It does, right? It didn't work. Shit didn't happen. But I remember the family got me a BlackBerry at some point, and I'd send just through BBM and just through I'd send a lot of pictures. So it was that the thought was always that you can do so much with the stuff in your this device in your hand, and that's basically where it started from. Yeah.
What was the first platform that you were on?
Oh, you mean like like Awkward or High Five, like or Yahoo? Like when I started writing Enfields, there was no information available. I used to be on a part of all the Yahoo groups. If honestly, it was all the Yahoo groups, the Royal Beasters or RTMC. Because just by the thing of owning an Enfield, I was let in. I attended some of the older RMs. I know a lot of the guys from back then. And I know them through the groups. I know them from there. So from there, the internet became it was all about motorcycles. That's what it was. It was all like to find more about motorcycles, right?
Let's talk about the picture that the world is obsessed with, stealing.
Yeah. It's the second picture.
See, if I was a movie director, I would probably make an Ocean's 11 around it, or probably a Snatch around it. Where the picture keeps moving into different hands and stuff like that. What's the story? Why is the world obsessed?
I don't know. What the sad part is that you carry so many cameras. I carry so many cameras always at hand, and that picture was taken from my iPhone 4S and edited on Snapseed and uploaded, and I don't know what happened. What love? I feel I have better photographs hidden somewhere. Maybe people have just not seen them, but it just went crazy. Yeah, you Google it and it's all over Google, and every other Tom, Dick, and Harry is using it. Now I'm fighting against it. You all see I'm fighting against it as I make big noise about it.
So what's the right way to get that picture from you?
Call me, message me and ask. And you've used my images on your blog. How did you do that?
I do what is right, and
you messaged and said, "Can I use it? I want to use it." I didn't know who the hell you were. I barely knew who you were. I barely knew you guys. Said you were just kind of starting up. Yeah. You said, "Can I use it? I want to use it in blog." What was the answer? Yeah, use it. Like, it's simple.
And let's come down to your travel, man. You've been an extensive traveler, right? How many times did you travel last year?
Yeah, last year I did quite a bit. Yeah. In January itself, last year I'd done Peru. I'd done some time in the US. Then we went back to the US in February for Mama Tried. Yeah, and that's just like those are things that we didn't. I didn't even ride. And then we did Nepal a couple of times, and we did I did Thailand like some 4 times last year. Yeah, I did a lot of travel last year.
How many times do you reissue your passport in a year? Is what I really wanted to know.
No, yeah, I've been lucky that I have a couple of long-term visas, so you don't need to reissue them for that reason.
What's your most memorable trip? If you have to just choose one.
Oh, that's really hard, yeah. I mean, like I said all the time, it's really hard. Yeah, it's every trip is memorable. Every trip has like some crazy bits in it, some tough bits in it. If you look at something I did on my own, like that Ducati trip was out of the world. Many years ago, I did Uttarakhand on my Bullet 500 alone, and that was also like just in literally in my backyard. I had Harsh sitting on a map at home, and he'd be like, "Hey, when you reach this trail end, take a left to this trail end and get onto this other trail and like bypass this road." So I mean that was great because it was on my own, but I had like Harsh every morning. I'd wake up and there'd be like a list of trails that I could take because he was sitting on Google Maps and just like pulling them out, and I was just like hitting them. So that was a really nice trip too. I mean, it's very hard to just pull one out. Yeah. But I truly do believe that riding in India is the real deal. There's always something to find. However high tech our country gets and however fast we're growing or not, there's always a place that someone's never been. There's always a place that's untouched. There's always something waiting to be found and explored. And India is a country you can actually get to these places.
So like I was speaking to Niels the other day, and he was saying like riding in this country is like playing a video game, and there's so much happening on the road that you can never get bored.
Yeah, so I mean, like we tune so much of it out here. Like I mean, in our head we tune so much of it out, but it works the other way when I go. For instance, it works really weirdly when I go abroad because I can't go around a blind corner flat out because you're just not tuned that way, right? We are always like something is going to jump out.
And so yeah, you do a lot of these events as well, if you may call it. So what's your favorite?
So Mama Tried is of course the guys who run Mama Tried are old clients of Helmet Stories, and our friends of like Warren and Scott are like good friends of ours. And it was just something that they were like, you gotta come. And that year that they wanted us to come, Harsh's kid got married, so they were the same date. So we were in Goa partying, couldn't get out of Goa sober enough to get on a plane to go all the way across the world. So last year seemed to be the right year to go and hang out, and unbelievable. It's great to see how it works on the other side of the world.
So if you could choose one event, what's the one event that you love?
Again, man, like you go Dakar. Dakar was out of the world. Like Dakar, that experience was 2 days. We flew, like it was a 2-day trip, more or less. 2 days on the ground in Peru, or 3 days on the ground in Peru. We flew like 72 hours to get there and 72 hours back to be like we flew more than we were on the ground. But every moment of like that Dakar was unbelievable.
And let's talk about your motorcycle collection, man. How many of them do you have?
I have 3 with me here. One's the Bullet 500, which is a 535 now with a Hitchcock piston in it, which every time I rode to India Bike Weekend back, I'd break it. So it has broken bearings, and I think I just didn't want to like get back into fixing it. And while it was parked in my own parking, someone stole my VM32 carb and has stole like so it's like stripped down. It has no carb, it has no battery. It's stripped. It's gone back into like the rotting phase of that motorcycle. But I refuse to like. I'll get to it. I have my Continental GT and I have my the custom bobber that we built for my dad for his 60th birthday.
Perfect, Vir. Thanks so much.
Thank you guys. How are you guys doing? Since you've asked me all the questions, we don't know, you're sitting at home going crazy. I'd say tearing your hair out, but I mean that'd be that's just me being mean, and I don't think I should start right now early in the morning.
Oh man, for us it's pretty nice. So obviously the factory is off. The operations are off. So that leaves us with a lot of cool new things to do. So something like this. is something that we wouldn't do in a normal scenario, right?
No, of course.
Right, but that's just an alternate way to do new things. So we're doing this, we're designing like tons of stuff. So the day we open, today we have one master craftsman who's the one who designs the first product. I'll probably need 3 of them working all the time when we join, because we would have already designed like 100 new products, and let's wait for the storm to pass and then get back on the road.
Absolutely.
Tell us in the comments below who you'd like us to catch up with, and we'll get them here. Don't forget to like this video, to share this video, and follow Trip Machine for more such content. We will see you guys very soon with another episode of Bikers on PMS.
आज रात 12 बजे से